Governor of the Central Bank, Godwin Emefiele, at the bankers' annual dinner for the final time in 2019. So we all had what we call the Black Friday, but today is Cyber Monday. So what about the shopping spree going on? Worldwide, billions of dollars being spent. Let's talk about business and other related matters with Juliana Layinka, my colleague from our London studios. Juliana, good morning. Hope you had a swell shopping time despite the cold weather in London for Black Friday. So tell me if everybody's ready for Cyber Monday.
Good morning, Bosun. Well, I'm probably one of the millions of people that didn't spend any money this weekend. But, you know, this Black Friday to Cyber Monday, which is today, those busy 4 shopping days, is expected to have brought in £8.57 billion to the UK economy, which is an absolutely big, huge number. This is the equivalent of £129 per person. So I still have until today to spend that £100. But economists here in the UK are still scrambling together to try and pin all that data. What we do know is that £2.4 billion was spent on Friday alone, which is an increase of 3.4% from last year. Of course, the Americans are way ahead of us, and they've already been crunching the numbers. And they said that Amazon, which is the online shopping giant, dominated, of course, all the spending. Their market share increased by 49% from last year. I've got some data. Let me make sure I get it right. $7.4 billion was spent in America on Black Friday, which is the day after Thanksgiving. And today, the projections are $9.6 billion. That's a lot of money. So even though footfall in retail is on the decline, that's been made up by everybody going online to grab their best deals before Christmas.
Great. The markets, the high street is still expecting you, Juliana. But again, this is all about shopping. So Ted Baker, the UK fashion retailer, seems to be in some hot water for was he underestimating or overstating its inventory. Is this a big trouble for this company?
It is potentially a big trouble, but it's mainly, I would say, embarrassing. They've overestimated their inventory by £25 million, which is a lot of money, especially because next week they are going to be delivering their end-of-year profits. And already this year alone, they've released 3 profit warnings to shareholders. As soon as they made this announcement today, their shares dropped 12.5% because shareholders are not happy. Again, you know, retailing in the UK is pretty hard. And Ted Baker they're a luxury retailer. They're not a designer retailer, but they certainly cost more than their competition. And, you know, their footfall is really on the decrease. So they've struggled a lot this year. Also, as well, in April, they had a really embarrassing episode with their founder. He was ousted by the company because there were a string of sexual misconduct allegations against him. And they're really trying to, you know, rebrand the company and show their shareholders that they can survive. So the fact that they've made this epic fail just weeks before they're going to be telling their shareholders that they're really dropping their revenue is not good for Ted Baker at all.
That's not good. That's not good news. But I'm sure you're likely going to find the promise by Labour Party to reduce rail fares by 33% very nice, because I'm sure you commute from home to Cavendish Square on train almost on a daily basis. So even on weekends, I guess. So is this good news you're looking up to? But is it realistic, by the way? Where would the money come from?
Well, you know, the Labour Party have given a lot of pledges. This doesn't seem to be one that people are shouting at the hillside at the moment, saying it's unrealistic. But, you know, we're going into that last final hurdle of this very short campaign. This week, the ruling Conservative Party will be talking about border security. Of course, we've got that NATO summit coming up over the next couple of days. And the Labour Party are trying to woo rail commuters. And rail is a huge huge issue, I would say, for the electorate here in the country. Of course, there are a string of strikes, and it is very expensive, especially if you're outside that M25 circle. Coming into London is expensive. This weekend, train bosses did announce that there would be a 2.5% rise in rail fares next year, and the Labour Party have countered it by saying that, yes, they're going to reduce fares by 33%. This is going to cost the economy £1.5 billion every year. Labour say that they can get this money out of fines and other transport fares around the system. They said there is a way of doing this. They also said that if you're under 16 years old, then rail will be free for you. So it does sound like a good pledge. It's definitely something that will get people's ears pricked, especially business owners and businesses who come into London. You know, rails can cost over £1,000 a month, and they're saying that this pledge will save every consumer £1,000 every year. So a good potential story for Labour. You know, those are polls, they're narrowing now. You know, the Conservative Party did have a big lead, but after that atrocious terror attack that we saw on Friday, you know, the numbers are getting a bit slim. So this could potentially push the Labour Party just above the Conservatives.
Interesting story, political time for promises and all of that. Let's see how all of this materializes after December 12th and how we proceed into the new year. Thank you so much for coming through on Monday. We have the rest of the week together here on Business Morning, Juliana. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you.
Great. Let's take a break, everyone. We're back and we're checking with the marketplace to start the trading week and the month.